In this module, we will explore a whole new level of creativity. We will use ChatGPT for content creation now. So we will learn how we can use it to create blog posts or articles about basically any topic, and we'll go even further. We'll learn how we can create video scripts for your next YouTube video, for example, based on the articles we created. We'll also boost our social media posts by letting ChatGPT create our tweets or Instagram postings. We'll also learn how we can write cover letters, CVs, or job offerings with the help of ChatGPT. And finally, we'll also learn how we can generate or create sample data. Researching data for specific projects is quite cumbersome. With ChatGPT, this can be done in seconds now. No matter which kind of data you're looking for or which type of data, so JSON, Markdown, CSV, or anything else, all this can be done with ChatGPT now. So let's get started with writing a blog post or an article, whatever you want to call it. And this article should be about the history of the iPhone from its first presentation until the year 2021. Due to the cutoff date of ChatGPT, we talked about this already in the course. Now for this specific project and also for other topics covered in this module, we'll follow this approach. We'll first use a simplified approach. So we will use a very simple prompt and see what the output looks like. Afterwards, we'll dive a bit deeper and create a more structured, a more complex prompt. This prompt will follow some of the concepts we learned in the prompt engineering module, but more importantly, we'll add more constraints and give ChatGPT more context to derive a more special, a more tailor-made output. So this is our first goal. Let's see how we can write this article now in a simplified way. So I'll now simply add this prompt to my message box. This prompt is very generic. As said, it's a simplified approach, but let's see what ChatGPT makes out of it. So now we got this article and it is very long, but actually it's just a simple summary of kind of boring key facts of the iPhone development. This reads more like a fact summary than an engaging article people would really read, and also not like an article that would be really catch the attention of our audience. Therefore, using ChatGPT like this is okay, but actually we can do better. We'll now derive a more structured, a more complex prompt step by step. To do so, one of the most important things is adding constraints. Besides the topic of the article, ChatGPT needs more information to write a really tailor-made article here. Some of the constraints that should be considered are the target audience. So who is our audience that should read this article? Is it everybody? Is it young people? Is it older people? Tech-related people? So we should make this clear first, because this will also change the way ChatGPT writes the article and also the content that is covered in the article. For example, tech-related people want to know more about the facts about the iPhone. Less tech-related people might just want to know how the looks changed, for example. We should also think about topic-related keywords. This is related to the SEO, so to the search engine optimization. If we optimize our article in this area and add many relevant keywords in here, then chances are higher that our article will be found on Google as it distinguishes from the existing articles. We should also consider significant iPhone improvements, maybe an amazing new camera, great new displays, new processors to make the whole experience a lot faster. So things like that should also be highlighted in our article to make it easy for the reader to quickly see where the main events happened. As we saw, we have a very long article, so we might want to have a more refined article that is a lot shorter and still contains all the key facts. And finally, we can also ask ChatGPT to add images. We know that ChatGPT can't add images at the point of time when recording this course at least, but we can ask ChatGPT to add image descriptions to areas where these would help to make the article even more exciting, even more engaging. So these are just some of the ideas that we can have when writing such an article. Let's now see how we can implement these topics. So now we'll edit our initial prompt to be able to switch between the different versions, and there I'll add this prompt here. So we still want to write this article. Now we target tech-related people as audience, and I want to have a list with SEO relevant keywords first. These should be included in the later article, but first I just want to have this list. So now we have our list with keywords. You can dive deeper into this SEO topic if you want to. We'll just use this list as a starting point now for our next prompt. There I now want to have an outline first. I could let ChatGPT again generate the full article, but first I want to have a look at the outline to see whether the topics covered are in line with my expectations and what I want to have in this article. I also mentioned that the outline should be the base for the article later, but that the article should not exceed 1,200 words, so hopefully the outline is also not too long. And now we get a totally different result. Instead of the boring list of, well, historical events related to the iPhone, we now get a clearly structured outline talking about different topics about the iPhone in general and what it meant to the industry, the first iPhone, design-related topics, the ecosystem, and so on. So with that, we have a way better structure already, which actually sounds a lot more exciting. Now we could dive deeper here again. I won't do that because I want to show you another way how to write this article. But of course, if you want to, you could now tell ChatGPT to write the article based on the outline. The article must not be longer than 1,200 words. And that's now a totally different kind of article comparing it to the initial one. Lots of exciting topics are included. Of course, some of these only with one sentence due to the limit of 1,200 words that I added, but still, this is one way to write much more exciting articles that have the potential to be read by a lot more people. So this is more a step-by-step approach, but considering the things we learned in the prompt engineering module, we could also write one prompt only following some of these guidelines that contains all core constraints, and that should result in a great article with just one single prompt. Let's see how this works in the next lecture. So we had a simple prompt and now this more, well, iterative way, so to say, to get to our article with SEO keywords, outlines, and then the article. Now I want to add one prompt that basically combines all things I need, and let's see what ChatGPT makes out of this now. So I'll again edit our initial prompt here, and now we'll add the more complex prompt step by step. The first thing I want to start with is I want to add a role and a basic task. So I tell ChatGPT that it is a professional blogger. The job is to write articles with the search engine optimization in mind. And the article should be engaging. And in this case, we talk about Apple's iPhone, about the development of the iPhone to be more precise. Next thing is to add some bullet points. And I will add these as the second core area of the article. So still we define the range of the article. We set a target audience. We include the SEO relevant keywords inside the constraints here. So we don't want to have a separate list. We just want ChatGPT to consider this when writing the articles. The years of significant technological changes should also be highlighted. We want to have different sections with subheaders, and images should be added where required. So this is one prompt now containing all things that should be kept in mind. The last part of this prompt is still missing though, and we got a typo in here. It should be significant like this. So the last section that is missing is naming the goal of ChatGPT. These summary bullet points should be the input to create this engaging article, and the article should not be longer than 1,200 words again. So let's see. And this now is a totally different level of quality, I would say. This is an almost ready to be published article. As always, your output will look different. We talked about this throughout the course, but we have really a well-structured article. We have descriptions for the images we need. We have subheaders, we have sections, and if you look at the beginning of the article, for example, you see the introduction is written in a way more audience-oriented way. Welcome tech enthusiasts and so on. This is more exciting. This catches the reader's attention. You can still fine-tune this prompt, obviously, but if we compare our latest version with the initial version we had, I think the difference is remarkable. And therefore, writing articles, writing blog posts with the help of ChatGPT-4 is amazing and can be done very fast, but still you have to make sure that you know how to write prompts, and you should make sure that you give ChatGPT the required background information to make sure you derive at an article with the right length, that targets the correct audience, and that also covers the relevant topics. Just using write me an article about XYZ is not enough to produce quality products here. Still, it is always important to read the actual output of ChatGPT, because you probably have to fine-tune this article, but still, this is a very good starting point, if not more.